Good morning, Elmarie from Worcester, Western Cape, South Africa. Welcome to anyone who's new and thank you to all returning viewers. I am attempting to make a video. If you hear a lot of noise on the outside, I'll explain that to you now. It's actually part of the video. No, I didn't plan it like part of the video. It's just part of what I'm going to be talking about. I am currently recording from my new workspace. And I'll talk about that in a minute. I hope you guys are doing well. I haven't been here for such a long time. I've attempted to make so many videos and none of them worked, so I just didn't upload them. And I'm sincerely hoping this one will work if you can cope with the noise in the background. Today I will be drinking in between conversations. Hey, it almost looks like the same as my overall. This is, my friends, almond milk iced coffee. I'll tell you about that later as well. So, let's continue. If you have a coffee, enjoy it. If there's sugar in your coffee, really enjoy it. If you're drinking tea, great. If there's honey in it, enjoy it even more. Me, I need my caffeine fix at the moment, so okay. So, announcements. The only announcements I have is that my shop is moving. So if you've been following me on Instagram or Facebook, you will know that I quit my day job. Best decision ever. That I worked for a year. Actually lasted a year, which is amazing. Lots of stuff I can say, not gonna say them. What I will say is, no, it wasn't because of my creativity that I didn't make it. That much I can say. So I left that and I had this opportunity in the arcade in Midtown, Worcester, to open a shop. And I said, I'm going to give it, they gave it 6 months, I gave it 3 months. I said, well, after 3 months, if I'm not making, sorry, I just had a nail that decided it was going to tear off. And thankfully, I have this little sewing tool. Otherwise, I would have bitten it off while I'm talking to you guys. Anyway, I thought I'm going to give it 3 months, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Then I'll move home. It didn't. Or it does. Sort of, kind of. I'm making enough money to pay my rent, but that's the only money I'm making, and it's not really worth it. Because I can take the money that I'm paying for the rent and put it into supplies for my shop, and I can make my shop grow instead of paying rent. I know that's logic, and I know a lot of people told me that before I opened the shop in the arcade. The fact of the matter is the arcade is in public, and that's why I tried it out. It's public, it's not at my house. In the meantime, we've decided to make renovations at my house, hence the noise, to set up a shop for me. The shop, my space that I had before was actually my workspace, but I used that as a shop before. But the way it was set up, I really didn't like people coming in because they had to go through my entire house to go into the shop, and that made me uncomfortable. I think if I can have, I always thought if I can just have like a door or something where people can come into the shop but not into the rest of my house, then I would be fine, and that's what I'm getting now. Again, hence the noise. Sorry. And also, hence the time I can sit and record a video. Otherwise, I would have either been at the shop or running around like crazy. So last week, I was at home. Rose is at the shop the whole time. She's, if anybody is a customer of Rose, just be very patient with her, because her production is going very slow. For anybody who does not know, Rose is the hand dyer behind Rose's Yarn Garden. She's also my son's girlfriend. So she's been working at the shop. We've been rotating days and that sort of thing. So she's also dying, and she's not getting enough time to do that right now. So if you are a customer of Rose, please be patient with her. And with me, for that matter. I started doing markets again. All of that stuff sort of came together, and I realized it's not worth having to sit at the shop in the arcade for a whole day, having maybe 2 or 3 customers coming in, buying something, and I'm not complaining about that, but they can just as well come to my house now. I'm going to put up black paving, and it's be a little courtyard, and with the gazebo up, and people can come and sit and knit there and crochet and that sort of thing. I'm really excited about that. I will also have enough space to give workshops and classes. That I'm really excited about, if anybody should want. Okay, so that's announcement, huge long announcement, going on to, whoops, because no, I do not have an FO. Wait, the first one I'm going to show you is this one, because honestly, it's actually not really worth showing. It's a sock in the making, and I really haven't gotten much further than that. So the heel's done. It's just a heel flap and gusset. Was cuffed down. Very simple. It's like a reinforced gusset part here. Was that the heel flap? I don't know. Heel flap, I think. And I haven't gotten further than this. And it's just because I have scrap yarn left. Some of this, I already made 1 pair of socks out of this one. And the light is a bit sharp, so you can't really see the colors. Okay. Okay, and then this is a scrap yarn of Colors of Grace that I still had left. So, 1 sock. I think I'm probably like in the middle of my foot on this one. Getting quite close to the actual toe part. I just don't, I'm not knitting a lot at the moment because I've got my head in all sorts of different places. It's very, very frustrating, really. I want to knit, but I'm just not doing it. And I really want to drink this before it gets hot. And I have to go put it in the blender again. Okay. Now my main project at the moment is Miss Serena, the Miss Serena t-shirt by Caitlin Hunter. That's what it looks like. It's black and white. Sorry, but yeah. And it's a lovely pattern. It's a top-down pattern. It's got like this cable section and lace. It's got a lace section, a cable section, and color work section. Now on the yoke. And I'm going to show you guys how far I am. This is the thinking part of this pattern, so it does take thinking. And it's, yeah, well, it takes thinking. Anyway, that's the lace part. That's the color work part. That part down there is the almost invisible at the moment, but that's the part where the cables are. And I am using these two for the top part, which is, I bought this from Yarn, which is a yarn shop, but yarn as in JAARN. I'll put the link down below for the shop. It's in Paarl, and it is a yarn dye by the yarn dye behind this is called Naughty Habit, something like that. But I know her actual name, but I can never remember the business name probably. But I'll put links down below for both of these. It's the same base that I have in my shop. It's 90% merino, superwash merino, and 10% linen. So, and it's, as you can see, it's a single ply. You know. So it's quite thin. So it's nice for summer actually. It's a nice, it will be a nice top. I only have one of these and I need at least two, and because I couldn't find a second one, but I already had this one, I decided, well, I'm gonna fade it in. Why not? So once the yoke is done with this one, then I'll start fading in this one and I'll end with it. I love these colors together. Anyway, I bought these because I was curious about the base. I actually liked the base, so I dyed up some of them in that base. I'm using, by the way, the socks are just, they're Addies, 2.5 circulars. This one, I started out with Addie, and then I switched over to Knit Pro Birchwood interchangeables. I also stock these in my shop. To be honest, and this is a personal preference, I prefer Birchwood over bamboo. Personal preference, but I really do. Those are the only whips I'm willing to show you. The rest are UFOs. Okay, so what's next? Spinning. I got quite a large commission to spin up alpaca. 4 kilos of alpaca. And it needs to be spun up in sock weight, which is how this is coming out actually. But as you guys can see, it's got a lot of knots and stuff in between, but that's because it's quite raw still. We just put this up so it's actually visible. This is already plied. You just check. Okay, yep, I've already plied this one. There's another one that I did that was chain plied that came out really nice. And I can't remember where I put it now. Anyway, 2-ply or chain ply. Now the difference between chain ply and 2-ply is that with a chain ply you automatically get like a 3-ply. I can't see that properly. Sorry guys, you really can't see it properly. But anyway, it's quite thin. I think this is still a single. Yep, these are still single. I'm gonna go see if I can find the other ones. It doesn't really matter. It comes out, this one is still on the bobbin, and I still have to no wait, you know, sorry, this one is plied. So that's what it came out like in a 2-ply setup. Trying to see if I can get this to focus. Maybe just hold it like that. As you can see, it's a very natural color. I didn't dye this. This is that alpaca's actual color. And this is a 2-ply, so it did come up as a sock weight. I still have to skein this one up, and then I have to do the rest. But guys, this is like 100 grams. And it's gonna be hectic to try and spin this up in time, but that's what's gonna be done after this video is finished, is spinning that, and also getting some more hand spuns into my shop, especially to the markets and stuff, because it's something different and it's unique. It's not something that's available everywhere. A lot of people are spinning again, but I honestly think mine is at a level where I can sell it. This one, for instance, is done on a small bobbin. It's still a single, like so. It's just merino. Still has to be plied. I don't really like doing, I mean, I can sell it as a single, no problem. But I don't really like selling it as a single, because I feel the plying does reinforce the yarn a bit and makes it stronger. It makes it just that bit more durable. So if you're going to do socks with it or something that's going to be worn a lot, I think singles are fine for a shawl or like a sweater. But for me, something that I'm going to be wearing a lot, that's going to be on my feet or on my hands, and there's going to be a lot of friction, I don't know. I prefer having a 2-ply or a chain ply or something with that. Okay, so that's done with spinning. Okay, I'll tell you about what I've been sewing, other than bags, which have been cut out before I moved my workspace to this side, and I'll have to be made. I'm not getting to it, but I'm going to show you what I'm wearing. Okay, I am wearing a pair of overalls that I'm not even sure if I can show this to you. Okay, let's see if I get up. And there we go. I'm on a chair. You see, this is what it looks like. It's got 2 pockets here. The next lot, I'm going to ignore the pattern and put the pockets up here because they irritate me down there. And I'm thinking of pattern hacking. I'll tell you about that in a minute. And I'm back. Sorry. And I still don't know how to edit the stuff, so it's not going to be edited out. This is linen that I was grateful to get for a really cheap price, because usually linen is very expensive. The other ones I made was actually just cotton, and I made one with viscose as well, which comes out very nice. But I still love the linen because it feels more structured and durable, you know. I don't know, maybe I'm just weird that way. Yes, I'm going to start making these to sell, and yes, I'm taking it to the markets, and that's the other fantastic thing of having my shop at home, because I don't have to worry about the shop next door that's already selling clothing. I don't want to compete with them. Totally different clothing line. So I'm going to start making these to sell. The pinafore I also have, I'll put the pattern links down below, by the way. Both of them I am allowed to sell, just not on commercial level, which I will never do. I'm not going to sell it to like a big company or whatever. It's just going to be from home. And you know, I decided on a name for that. It's going to be called the Crafter's Closet, and it's going to be the type of clothing that you can put on, do your craft, work in your house if you really have to, because I really don't like doing housework. But also, if you need to run to the shop, you can do it. And I think for any crafter, for anybody who's a knitter or a crocheter, or you know, even those of you guys who do it for a job, getting clothes on at home, looking like, as we say in Afrikaans, wie kom maar aan. Looking really like, and then having to run to the shop quickly or pick up your kids or whatever, it gets really, you have to undress again and put new clothes on. I don't know about you, but that irritates me so much that I don't have kids to pick up at school. But there's a lot of running around to be done in the middle of just working. And yeah, I'm gonna make it, and it's gonna be, if I can get a different like color, I can get, this is like proper linen. I can get a rayon linen. I might just stick to that. Anyway, cross that bridge when it comes to it, as soon as everything is done here. Okay, then I'm running out of time. Oh, I want you guys, I've got a whole bag full of charms that need to be finished. They will be in the shop soon. That's my basic shop update for now. I've got like some of these. It's a little bit of a cactusy thing. And my favorites that I can't eat right now, my hamburgers. I don't think I'm gonna sell this one. I think I'm gonna keep this one for myself, which is like a ball of yarn in a cup of yarn, you see. Oh, and I made this one that I really like, you see, it's a whole bowl full of yarn. So I might just keep this one for myself. Not sure, actually. I might sell it. Don't know. Oh, and I've got like cupcakey things. Now, all of these are basically there for anybody who needs like a project marker, project keeper, or whatever. I still need to finish them off, so I want to get them into the shop before the end of the week, as I do want to get, sorry about that, it's just my dog. I also want to get the bags ready for the market. I'll be attending Robertson Market next week. Oh no, I can't, they don't have a market. So I'll be doing Montague's market, and then I'll see whether it's going to be Robertson or Montague at the end of the month. I'm enjoying the markets, I really am. So, okay, I'm making these half an hour long. So I will now tell you why I am drinking almond milk in my coffee. Anybody who knows me will probably think I've gone a bit off the rails here. About 2 weeks ago, my one friend, and you know who you are, while we were chatting, and she's actually one of my customers, and she's become a friend, so we were chatting about something I got from wool, probably, and yarn, most definitely, somewhere, and she said, wait, I'll talk to you later, I'm going to watch a webinar. Got back to me. It turns out it's a webinar called The Art of Undieting. Now, that immediately struck me as interesting because I don't diet. I have done the diet thing. I have every bit of information about healthy eating. It's not that I don't know. It's the actual doing part that's stressful. Where you say, you know, I have a lot of head knowledge. I have a lot of knowledge. I know a lot of stuff. It's the actual doing, you know, of said stuff that becomes difficult for me. And I've been wanting to get like just a group to get keep myself accountable to. Of late, we've been eating like mostly natural stuff, and I'm saying mostly, I mean 80-90% of the time only natural stuff, not processed foods, not, I mean, except for the occasional Burger King, that's about it. If we get something from a takeaway from a restaurant, we know exactly what we are eating. It's not McDonald's or that sort of it's made from scratch type of things. But of late, we haven't been eating, like, if your plate of food consists of pasta with a small amount of tomatoes in there, and that's it. Or we've got a guy that does artisan bread. So my diet would consist of one croissant, which is lovely. Then I would have during the day, I don't know what, sometimes nothing. Sometimes I wouldn't even eat during the day. And then I'd get home and just throw pasta in the pot. So honestly, my micronutrients were... And this whole program focuses on eliminating toxic foods out of your diet. So the first lot is you eliminate all the obvious stuff: sugar, alcohol. I've been cheating on that one. I'll talk about that later. Sugar, alcohol, wheat products, any grain products really, legumes, anything processed, obviously. So there's a couple of stuff that and dairy, hence the almond milk. Not the same as dairy, but it's okay. I can handle it. And making half of your plate veggies and fruit, focusing on getting in the micronutrients. So I've been doing that for 2 weeks now. Where the cheats have come in is, yes, yeah, I've had once over a weekend. Over the past 2 weekends, I've had like whiskey, I think twice. But that for me doesn't matter because whiskey doesn't have any sugar in it. So it was just one of those days where I thought, if I don't do this now, I'm gonna kill somebody. And then that is, it's still a big problem in my life and in my husband's life, is learning to deal with stress. Trying to find a way to cope with stress and not overloading ourselves with stuff. I know I don't do yoga. If anybody would want to suggest it, I don't do yoga. But I do need to start exercising because I know that is part of the stress release. Just go take a walk around the block, which is what I'm planning on doing as soon as everything is set up here, because I do need to do that. So yes, it's gone well. I'm feeling much better. I had such bad just muscle pain, muscle ache all the time. For a while now, I've had serious joint pain, and all of those things are definitely, they're definitely getting better. And my husband's arthritis has definitely come down. So it's really the acid levels in our bodies that are leveling out. I started juicing again. I love juicing. It's like all of your nutrients in a glass. So that's made it so much easier for me because I just juice, and I don't have to worry too much about preparing the food and making the food and cooking the food, because you use half the nutrients immediately as you start cooking it. So that's where juicing really works for me. It's raw produce that you stick in a juicer. You're drinking every bit of the nutrients in that one glass of juice. That's really working out well for us. If you don't know, I'll put a link down below actually for Joe. can't remember his surname. But there were 2 videos made, both of them by him, about his own health and his own weight loss. Both of them are called Fat, Sick and Nearly Dead. I'll put links down below for them. It's worth watching. If anybody watching this has been struggling with their health, and I hate it when people start talking about getting skinny, getting thin, fitting into I hate that. I think that's going to be a separate video that I really want to make, because it is something that's so close to my heart. I get so angry with people when they start talking to people about their weight and their fat. I get so angry when people is telling little small children, "He's so chubby." I hate that. I really get so angry about it, because that's what I grew up with. I grew up with being told I was chubby from small, since I was very little. But you know what? I'm gonna do a separate video about that, I think. Okay, I'm over my half an hour limit. Keep your eyes out, because I'm serious about this. I will definitely do that. And the dogs just started going ballistic. Bye guys, have a fantastic week. And I'll keep you updated. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook. You'll see what's happening on both those platforms. Bye.